What is up, y'all? We're back with another Why I'm Fat series, episode 2. Now, this one doesn't directly go towards me per se. This goes towards a lot of y'all, though. And today we're talking about protein shakes. Now, you might be thinking, protein shakes? But they're good for you. Well, not all of them are. Let me show you why. See, first off, we got the Premier Proteins here. Now, you might be thinking, oh, this chocolate flavor's got 30 grams of protein, 160 calories, a gram of sugar, 24 vitamins and minerals. That's so good. No. Let me explain why here. Just, is that flipped upside down? No, it's not. It looks weird to y'all. This is the, where is it? This is your ingredient list. This should not be this long, first off. No. You know what I'm saying here? Sorry about that, Paul. But back to what I was saying. This ingredient list shouldn't be this long, and the macros, I mean, what do we got here? 3 grams of fat, a gram, 6 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugar. That's good with 30 grams of protein, right? But just this whole ingredient list drags it down so much because none of this is good for you. I mean, what do we got? Water, milk protein from a concentrate, you got soybean oil, sunflower oil. Just all of that alone makes this not good for you. And before you say, oh, well, that's just because it's the chocolate peanut butter flavor. Really? Really, just because it's that? Mm-hmm. I think the Premier's here for $9.58, whereas the Pure Proteins, you might say $7.48. That's better for more, but it's not because none of these are healthy. Well, bam. Now, I bet you did not expect me to come back on here. Next up, we got Jocko. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of this, so I actually don't know what to look at here. Let's see what do I got. It says grass-fed on there. That's supposed to be good. 170 calories, 3 grams of fat, 7 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 2 grams of sugar, but that's not added sugar, okay? I'll give them some credit there. And 30 grams of protein. Okay, now that sounds good, but we gotta look at these ingredients to make sure this isn't bad. Now, as I can tell, this is a lot shorter of a list here, but we still got milk protein concentrate blend. So that's just on a concentrate, not gonna work. Natural flavor. That means that could be over from over 100 different things, and they just put natural to say it's healthy. Fun fact: it's not. Sunflower lecithin, do not recommend. Allulose is actually a good sweetener, okay? A lot of controversy between sweeteners. You got sucralose, Ace K, all these other big name brands. But I will say, if you want to go for a sweetener, allulose or monk fruit sweetener is your way to go. Let's see, what else do we got? We got gums in here. Overall, I'm not going to recommend Jocko or Joko, however you want to say it. I don't care. I will give them credit for being grass-fed, keto-friendly, no artificial colors, nothing like that. I'll give them some credit there. But overall, I'm not going to recommend this. Now, would you look at that? I'm back again. You know why? Muscle milk. Because muscle milk is just going to build all your muscle, right? No, it's not. I see, you got 32 grams of carbs, 16 vitamins and minerals, and just a gram of sugar. You might think, well, that's good. Luke, why can't I drink this? Well, let me tell you why. You got 170 calories, okay. 2 grams of fat, 9 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fiber, 32 grams of protein. Okay, now these all sound too good to be true. You're right, it is. You know why it's too good to be true? The ingredient list. Like, look at this, dude. This is just basic water, milk protein isolate. Do not want that. More artificial gums in here. Some fake vitamins that they say, will work. Artificial flavors, natural flavors. You got seed oils in here. Now, before some of y'all say, look, this is bad content. If you want to say that, go watch Santa Cruz Medicinals or like a Corey Armstrong, okay? They're the real pros here. I'm just a fat dude trying to recommend what not to do, okay? And if we're going to compare prices some more, Jocko is $7.97. This is $9.48. And you're only getting 4 of these, okay? Are you really going to go down that path? All right, but don't worry, y'all. There are some good options here. We've just not gotten to them yet, so sorry for giving you some false hope here. Next up, we got Slim Fast. You know, because you can't really show you from here. You know, let's say you're trying to lose some weight. You know, you're trying to get slim, right? Slim Fast is not going to make you slim real fast. Okay, that's not how that works. Creamy milk chocolate, buddy. You're not drinking purity milk no more. This is not what it's going to taste like. All right, you know, you got 180 calories, 5 grams of fat, 25 grams of carbs. That's, no. 19 grams of sugar includes 5 grams added. This is not going well. 10 grams of protein. So, if you're looking to diet down, would not recommend this because Slim Fast is going to make you go fat real quick, okay? Do not. Under no circumstances are you about to drink Slim Fast and think, I'm going to get slim. No, you ain't. Don't worry, we're almost at the end. Next up, we got Equate. Y'all, do you know what Equate does? They make like toothbrushes and toothpaste. You know, they make like hygienic stuff. They're not supposed to be making protein shakes, and come to find out, they're making protein bars. I'm staring at them here. Equate, what are you doing? But anyway, back to your shake. I'm sure this is probably not good for you, so let's just check it out real quick, just to speed run. 160 calories, 3 grams of fat, 5 grams of carbs, 30 grams of protein. Not bad, okay? Buddy, this list. No, you got more gums, you got more oils, you got more concentrated proteins, which it's not good for you. It's stripped of all the real nutrients from it, by the way. Chromium chloride, do not need that. Yeah, it's just a no. And my last two here, y'all. We're just gonna make this quick. Atkins, do not recommend. 15 grams of protein, net carbs, 1 gram of sugar, 4 grams of fiber. Not enough protein, and the list is very long. You know, I've already talked to you about ingredients and whatnot, kind of what to look out for. I've been kind of speed running around with it, but it's okay. Now, my final one, I've actually seen a lot of people recommend these. I don't recommend them. Let me explain why. Owen. When you hear the name Owen, I think of a fat person, okay? And this is what these are going to do to you, okay? They're going to make you fat. You know why? Let me show you why. 200 calories, 6 grams of fat, 6 grams of carbs, and 6 grams of fiber. So practically no carbs. 32 grams of protein, you know? That pretty good, okay? I'll give them some credit. We look at the list, you know, pretty short list, but let's look at the list still. Because length is not what always matters, okay? Yeah, water, you got Owen protein blend from pea protein, organic pumpkin seed protein, and flaxseed oil. That's some pretty weak protein, y'all. Are you really going to build up your muscle and be like me and be a little weak chimp? What's we got? We got sunflower oil, multiple artificial gums. I will give them some credit for the monk fruit extract. You know, that's good. Himalayan pink salt, green blends. You know, I'll give them some credit where it's due, but overall, no. Now, I have heard a little bit of buzz over this one right here specifically, you know, saying, you know, this is better. Let's check real quick. Nope, nope, I'm just kidding. It's the exact same thing. Now, what protein shake would I recommend? None of them at Walmart because they're all pretty trash if you ask me. But if you really want one, overall, out of all the options I've shown you, I would go with the Owen just by default. It's got the best protein to nutrient ratio versus also the ingredients. I'm not going to call it great or anything for your budget, and it's going to cost you $8.47 for 4. I mean, you don't really got too many good options here, if at all any. I mean, that's going to be your best bet. I must mention that because all of those Walmart protein shakes were, well, you know, pretty trash, I'm going to go out on a limb and just recommend my own recommendation here. I'm going to recommend Santa Cruz Paleo Whey Protein. You could also go with the beef isolate protein. I think both are really good, really healthy, got nice ingredients. They're made by an anthropologist named Brandon, who, you know, please go give him a watch. He actually knows what he's talking about. You know, I'm just a dude who actually watches his video a lot. That's kind of what has influenced this whole series here, and Corey Armstrong. But, yeah, that's my recommendation.